Efforts to stabilise ties between China and South Korea following talks among their top diplomats yesterday are paving the way for a highly anticipated trilateral summit with Japan later this month. And if it happens, it will be the first time the meeting is held since 2019, after it was put on hold due to COVID-19 and deteriorating relations.
A competing trilateral to those held across the other end of the Pacific. That's how one analyst described the highly anticipated summit between China, Japan, and South Korea. This as the U.S.-China rivalry continues to simmer.
China had observed the sort of a strong ironclad trilateral summit in Camp David. And it may be trying to sort of catch up with the superpower rivalry with the U.S. by turning up some form of charm diplomacy with South Korea and Japan as well. So it's really a competition between two trilaterals, the Northeast Asian Trilateral Secretariat and the Camp David Trilateral, and it represents what the world can see as a rivalry between two great superpowers.
Having mended fences among themselves in the last 2 years, Japan and South Korea have deepened military ties with the U.S. After a trilateral summit last August, in a joint statement, the three countries declared their opposition to what they call China's dangerous and aggressive behavior. Meanwhile, if Chinese Premier Li Qiang does sit down with Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol in a summit, the first in 4 years, it's expected to be relatively uneventful.
Northeast Asia does have a high context culture, which means political symbolism is very important. So after the meeting, it creates positive atmospherics for officials at lower ranking bureaucracy, at the lower ranks of civil bureaucracy that will take over and look into the sort of operational and minor details of how to implement the broad sort of agreements that are agreed upon or talked upon in the Trilateral Summit.
Media reports said leaders from the three East Asian countries may meet at the end of May in Seoul, 2 months before Japan and South Korea are scheduled to have another trilateral with the U.S.